distancing herself by saying she heard the kids on that Friday morning. A story that they gave the RCMP, which she spends all the rest of her time undermining and telling you how she doesn't believe any of it. She doesn't agree with the script that old Danny's come up with, probably. Regarding Friday, she said the following. On Friday morning, she got up at 6 a.m. and had tea and cigarettes. Around 7 a.m., Janie went out and tended to her chickens and let her dog out. Which dog? She went back inside and played a game on her phone. Wonder what game? Candy Crush? I wonder what game she plays on her phone. What a weirdo. She got a call from her brother, Ron McKenzie, at 8:48 a.m., and they talked about going to town. After she was done talking to him, she went back to bed and must have dozed off after scrolling on Facebook. She must have just dozed off. Isn't that interesting how Janie in this moment is telling the cops that she must have dozed off? A little hazy about that. They're all a little hazy. They're all in and out of sleep at any important juncture of this morning. Walking around like a bunch of fucking zombies. Admittedly. After she was done talking to him, she went back to bed and must have dozed off after scrolling on Facebook. She must have dozed off. That says that in this police report. Oh, you don't know? You can't put it together? She originally said she might have learned the children were gone at around 8:48 a.m. before she talked to Ron, but later clarified the timeline in her second statement. Her dog started barking and that woke her up. Who's waking me up? She heard Lily and Jack in the backyard playing on the swings and laughing. Then she dozed off again. Another moment she's dozing. She's in and out of sleep. She's dozing in and out of sleep, but still acknowledging somehow that how do we know that you didn't dream that, Janie? How can you differentiate hearing the kids in the backyard in a dream? I'd be interested to know. Her dog started barking and that woke her up. She heard Lily and Jack in the backyard playing on the swings and laughing, then dozed off again. She woke up again when she heard Daniel yelling. This for Jack and Lily. She didn't think anything of it because Jack liked to look for bugs and gets into things when he's doing that. She didn't think any of it because Daniel was yelling at the kids. So she thought Daniel might have been yelling at Jack for that reason. When she came outside, after waking up again, 2 times now, man, just so obscure back there. What the hell is going on in that RV that you're so sleepy, girl? When she came outside after waking up again, she saw Malaya standing at the rock pile, holding Meadow. Malaya said Jack and Lily were missing. Isn't that interesting? How did you know at that point in time that they were missing? And for how long? There's a difference between determining that the kids are missing and you can't find the kids, or you're looking for the children. There's skip over and a skipping over of the whole process of actually searching for the kids and that whole traumatic experience. Again, just like there was in Trezell and Jacqueline's situation.
Get a $3 classic breakfast when you buy any.
No, thank you. No, thank you, Tim Hortons. What's going on, Captain Justice? Captain Justice. What do you have to say, Danny? Can't believe that the CBC is making money. Tim Hortons is advertising in the back of Danny for me.
That's all I found. So brought in classified technology. This, scanned the whole area.
Classified technology.
Yeah, we found a beaver and a coyote. That's all I found.
Amazing.
So why do you think this step is necessary?
Well, it just rules out one and brings the book a little bit closer to being closed. I mean, one chapter at a time.
How have you been doing?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm doing well, but doing better than I was at the start, I guess. It's physically exhausting, mentally exhausting, emotionally exhausting, but every day you wake up and it's a new day. New hope. And just keep going forward.
Tell me about the toll, like what you were just mentioning earlier about social media.
Yeah, social media has been quite a circus, we'll call it. But
yeah, it's just been such a circus. Well, why are you on it in the first place, asshole? What's the point of you being here in the first place again? Oh, it's just something that's just so out of his control.
I can't control them, and they're free to judge, but maybe just use a little bit of this before they start typing or use an AI for pictures.
Still can't say exactly what's on his mind. Fucking asshole.
If you don't mind, I would like to just stay like this because I can have a chance to answer your questions, because if all these guys keep throwing questions at me, I'm going to read them and then I'm just going to get all confused because I'm going to get one question in with another question, and that's just going to screw everything up. If you guys don't want any questions asked this way, that's fine. I'll stop talking. I get all the time in the world. It's not like I have a life anymore. God, there can't be that many more questions for you guys to ask me. I told you everything that I know. Like, I mean...
What a whiner. She's the one that's fucking up there. Joyous, thank you for the super sticker, darling. I appreciate that very much. God, there can't be very many more questions. You need to... I've told you everything. Haven't I straightened everything out for you guys?
Do you want me to tell you what color the sky is today? Like, how much more can I answer? Like, how many more questions is there? God, I answered more questions than they did in my interview. I have no idea where to search. The only thing I can say is keep the flyers going. All this place has been searched. It's been turned upside down, inside out. There's nothing more they can do here. Like, they even checked the septic tank. They checked the well. They checked everywhere. They checked under my under the trailer. They had a drone under there. They checked here. They checked everywhere. There's no...
She sure is eager to get something over with, isn't she? It's interesting how she's looking for some sort of conclusion to something. Oh, it's done. No need to continue. Everything's said and done. The kids have magically disappeared. No need to do anything at any point in time ever again. You got it, Captain Justice. None of them answer questions directly whatsoever. And when they come close, it's always a deflection. Yeah. They're guilty. Always complaining about how people are judging them. Judging you based off of what you've done. That's probably okay in this situation. It's him fucking up. You're not even telling people straight up what you find bothering situation and go through it once again. We'll put an old seal on it and they'll take them to a point where they'll just get them to in a position where they're going to be forced to say one thing or the other, and their silence in that moment to those investigators are going to be the determining factors. You're either going to choose to answer the question, you're going to choose to try to lie, or you're going to choose to not say anything. Surround yourself with a lawyer. That might be Malaya's, but Daniel and Janie can't afford a lawyer. So when they get the information and they get their team together and they get a game plan together, and this is how they're going to approach it, which takes time. You know them. When they put their minds to it, they don't stop in that sense. Once they get them in that interview room, they're not going to leave the interview room. They'll be in custody at that point. Now, that's going to be their best bet in getting what really happened, because that whole series of events on the suspects is going to be so traumatic. And however it is that they break them when they interview them all in the same room at the same, at the different room at the same time in that sense, and trip them up over their stories and catch them in lies in the moment on camera, that's going to be the evidence that is going to be guaranteed to end this nonsense that they bring to the public. Because there's going to come a day where it's really going to be your word in a court of law, like it or not. And at very least, everything, and they've come up to a point of really acknowledging how criminally negligent that they were in this situation. Now, I expect that when they go in and try to shake them down, emotionally break them, it depends, they might not have to. Janie might just turn on both of them, sick to death of them. Who knows how this is going to play out? We don't know all of the finite details yet, but we know that something happened and they're responsible for it. You imagine how these investigators are what's keeping them up at night? All the different ways that they can go in and penetrate that psyche in the future. That's what keeps them up at night. It's not this sentimental wish things were different scenario. They're seeing what we're seeing, only they have a lot more of the answers in that sense. They are the investigation. We're a simulation of that. They're not shaking their fist, worry that these assholes are going anywhere, going to get away with anything. It's as it was handed to them. Nothing's making sense. And it's going to even, that point is going to look even greater at a different point in time in the future. And suit them for whatever way that they want to proceed. But they're not going to be making announcements and telling you that we're going to take this case in a different direction, not with what all of the information that's already available to us. We don't need any more clarification from these jokers. You don't need any more opportunities to try to clarify or bring forth some sort of statement to clarify for why Jack and Lily are no longer around that particular residence. The information that you provided is not going to float with the public or the RCMP. And the fact that that's where you are leaving things tells everybody that this is going to be going to the next level. And this is going to be a classic situation. Maybe they'll just pin them together in the court. They want to play games like this. Then you get them in front of the court and cross-examine them. Malaya, Daniel. Then you start to build what really happened for that jury of 12, knowing full well what's going to lay out in that sense. As soon as they start turning on one another, that's it. Things will really proceed at that point in time. And I believe that point in time isn't too far away. It's not Malaya's responsibility that she needs to come out and lead any sort of effort at this point in time, after the fact. All of this is under the bridge, but it speaks to the circumstances and what's really gone on. You can either use her as depends whose trial you're going through at this point in time. There's a lot of people involved in this. There's a lot of adults that were on that property. Now, whether Janie's going to be involved in it is going to depend on how much she's involved in the incident that took Jack and Lily's life. We know that she's an accessory after the fact in this conspiracy to cover up these crimes against children. That is the one that makes them desperate. They know what that's going to mean. That's, I couldn't, that would be like a death sentence. A crime against a child is a death sentence. There goes your life. And they're very desperate to try to hold on to that particular lifestyle, this fabulous RV living lifestyle that's going on here in this tweaker heaven.
I am telling you guys, if you don't believe me, that's your problem or your opinion. If you want to give a comment, I am all done with this once I've talked to you guys.
Imagine a person who is a reliable witness and innocent of any wrongdoing against Jack and Lily in the circumstance wouldn't be telling you and trying to differentiate and remind you about opinions being opinions. In fact, it's really unnecessary that she's there in the first place. Wouldn't you have other things to be worried about? She's so worried about blending in the moment. Things stand out just so corny and cheesy after the fact in her behaviors. Listen, dummy.
No, I thought everything was going well with Daniel and Malaya. I have never seen them fight.
So here's an example of her exaggerating the opposite way. She thought things were going just tickety-boo between Daniel and Malaya. Meanwhile, the reality is that she's been planning to leave all of this time. It's been out there and open. She's got U-Hauls on their way over that she called off. It's a real problem. But old Janie doesn't know anything about it. Oh no, this is where she covers. She's got no problem lying to you in real time. None of this is reality, Janie. Everybody knows that they have major fucking problems. Even Malaya acknowledges it throughout. Why don't you? Why is it that you have to imagine and pretend that things were great between them, especially when things obviously weren't and she's gone right now? Talk about major avoidance.
Never really seen them arguing when I was in there. I'm not sure about what happens when I'm not there, as I told the reporters, and I'm telling you guys, I live in the RV, they live in the trailer. I let them have their personal space, they let me have my personal space. The only difference I seen in Malaya that day of the disappearance is when I saw her outside and she was standing there holding Meadow, and I had to ask her what was up, and she told me that Jack and Lily were missing, and I asked her how long. That's the only behavior difference that I've seen in Malaya, except for this time that the altercation happened at the end of the driveway, which I have nothing.
Except the altercation at the end of the driveway. Not to mention that you said that you don't pay any attention to Malaya anyway, so how would you know any different? You don't interact with her. You don't have a conversation with her. How would you be able to recognize?
No, nothing, no knowledge about. I didn't listen to what I just went up to her and said, please don't tell, she was crying. I said, please don't tell me that Jack and Lily are dead. And then, as I said, Haley and her friend, I think it was Shelby, I can't be 100% sure, started saying stuff. I wasn't in the mood to listen to arguments. I didn't want to fight because whatever was going on had nothing to do with Jack and Lily. That's when I ordered them off the property. The police came. I gave my statement of what I've done. Other than that, that's the only difference that I've seen in Malaya's, whatever you call it, the personality or whatever she...
Yeah, well, it's easy for her after that to introduce the reason why she does it psychologically. I'm not buying it too. Dead, who would ask that's the question. Is she's introducing the fact that Jack and Lily are dead, the possibility of at that point in time. Whether it happened or it didn't happen, it's regardless. It's an issue here that she's introducing at a particular point in time, answering a lot about what her mind frame would have been in if she's lying.
Changes. Sorry. In Malaya was that day. Now, this is me, myself. If my children were missing in the woods, or if somebody has taken them, I would be so hysterical. I would be running around, screaming and hollering, looking everywhere, crying, just like a normal person would be, that a mother. You can't tell me that you carry a child for 9 months and something happens to them, that you're not going to get hysterical and you're not going to be crying and screaming and everything. Well, tell me. I would be. And another thing, I'm going to tell you something now. If something happened to my children, my boys.
Here's where Janie gives you her justification for why it is that she's gone all this way to lie to you and put forth such an effort in this case. This is her real rationale, her real reasoning. She's really telling you how she is in this moment, trying to show you the human side of her, because she hasn't felt that she's gotten that through to you yet at this point. He's telling you just how much she would protect Daniel. Well, Danny, especially if he was in trouble, and he is in trouble here, isn't he?
I would be so hysterical, even though they're 34 and 33, or 33. I would still be hysterical if something happened to them. Even though they're growing up. Mama will always be a part of their lives, no matter how old they are. And Mama feels for those kids. I don't care if my kid, if I'm 85 years old and my kid is 60-some years old, I am still going to worry about my children.
Listen, you don't care that you look 85 years old. You look 85 years old right now, honey. You're not even going to live to see 85, so it's not even going to be a concern. But you don't seem to show much concern over the way that you look now. And yeah, you do look like you're 85. She's drunk? Could be. Her fake crying voice stopped when she got her son's age wrong. Well, listen, she's senile too. And a liar. That's a dangerous combination. You hear that, Derwood? You hear that, you old drunk, booze-nosed bastard? Why don't you tell everybody how tough you are? Oh, I used to be a boxer. Oh, I used to be a boxer. Who gives a fuck? What's that going to do? What's that going to do when I put my steel toe right up your asshole? That'll be right after I push that fucking Kent down the hill into Halifax Harbor. And that's going to happen. Whether it's the preliminary hearings or whether it's the full trial of any one of these son of a bitches, it's going to happen. And I'm going to blast it on YouTube and make fucking money all over it. Wait till this progresses to the point that there's going to be a reason to be there. People will be there. Old Derwood will be back there trying to tell everybody how many friends he has associated with the Hells Angels and how dangerous he is and how he used to be and how he knows fucking everybody and who to know, who not. And dude, you sound like a goddamn inbred hick. Shut the hell up. You're nothing but a curly-haired fucking freak with that little chomo goddamn mustache that you try to pull off, trying to get yourself in the way of attention with 2 missing children. Why is there children and abuse around when you're around, Derwood, and you're lying as though that you're a child molester? Stranger danger.
And I am still going to cry for my children. So you just look at what I've seen and what you've seen on the tape of Malaya's interview, does that look like a woman that misses her children? Please answer me that. If there's no more questions, I've pretty well answered everything that I could answer on my part. As I said, I'm not answering questions about Malaya, about Daniel. It's all about Jack and Lily. I told you what I've known and what I've seen. I
All about Jack and Lily. So far, it's all been about you there, honey baby.
hope it helps you guys, ease your guys' minds. And I thank you guys for letting me talk to you and for not judging me for when I'm talking to you. And thank you to whoever was answering the questions. I appreciate you volunteering to do that and making it easy for me to answer questions. And I hope you keep praying for Jack and Lily. And I hope they come home soon.
Janie makes a valid point here about being hysterical. Is this leakage hinting that MBM started this problem that they had to clean up for her? I think she's kind of insinuating that a little bit because she's being more critical of Malaya's behavior or her portrayal of her behavior when she doesn't know what the hell happened in the first place, and she can't have it both ways. She's really showing us, telling us that she knows what happened. She's presented it in that tense. Okay? It's been 20 minutes and you're standing in the driveway telling everybody that the kids are missing and it's been 20 minutes. That doesn't make any sense. Listen. That wouldn't even make the fucking cutting room floor of a Columbo episode. All right? That's so fucking stupid. Word up, Shannon. Yeah, you feel it, Angry Rabbit. You feel how emotionally manipulative it is. Absolutely. It's purposefully that way. She's here trying to play on those. They all do. And it's a constant thing that they can listen. It's a case that is difficult to ignore in that sense. And when you realize the level of deception and the lies at hand, you digest that a little bit, it becomes a lot more shocking because it becomes a lot more evident as to what happened and what led up to Jack and Lily no longer being with us. And you've got the suspects not wanting to say a word. They talk a lot, but they don't say anything. You get that? The whole abduction thing started on day 2 when the criminal investigators came in because they did not find the children day 1. Regardless, they've got problem on their hands. There's this driving all night, and there's these reports of 2 different people talking about old Danny's car being out and back and forth, all within earshot, from the hours of 12 to 4. There's all kinds of things that they need to talk about. You can't just ignore that. They're not ignoring that. Unfortunately, that fucking idiot drunk turkey goes over and tries to play that every which way on and just starts to disinform on the topic altogether. That tells you how fucking ridiculous he is. His intentions are not for Jack and Lily, but he's over there exploiting the situation nonetheless. I expect all of you diehards and realists out there to go and fight that battle and let him know just how disgruntled you are with that asshole. What a tool he is. Shannon, thank you very much. 20 Australia Day. High five, my Aussie friend. I appreciate that.
And when I go on again, if there's some questions that you guys have not answered and I see them, I will answer your questions. So thank you for taking the time and listening to me babble and get it out there. And thank you for letting me cry on your shoulders. I appreciate it. And thank you, Ken. You'll know what it's about.
There you are. Thank you, Kent. Thank you, Kent. He'll know what that's about. That's coded language. That's acknowledged coded language by old fancy pants Janie here. Hey, Wolfie, thank you very much. Hey, Bud Coffee. Yeah, so, Wolfie, is Derwood intimidating you in the background? Is he trying to intimidate you? You let people know. I'll wait till tomorrow on Shannon's channel. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. I wouldn't even worry about him. Don't even worry about it.